bicycle is, but do you know how they came to be? My topic is the history of bicycles. This topic is relevant not only because there's a lot of new, improved techniques and designs of bicycles, but the basics is never a bad thing to learn. Today we'll tell you about the invention of the bicycle, the evolution of the bicycle, and the different types of bikes there are today. To the inventions. The first bicycle known is the Loft machine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, which means running machine. It was a dual-wheeled bicycle that was made entirely of wood, including the wheels. And this bicycle didn't have pedals at the time. You used your feet to push it. It was also called the velocipede, Latin meaning fast feet because you used your feet to push it. It was invented by the German Baron Karl Dries von Sauerbrunn, and the very first one known to man so far. The first person to invent the pedal-powered bicycle in 1839 was Kirkpatrick Macmillan. This bicycle was never patented and therefore was copied by many people, but it's been traced back to him as being the inventor because of when he ran a pedestrian over for the first time with a pedal-powered bicycle, and he got fined 5 shillings for running over this pedestrian, and it was in the newspaper, and I thought that was kind of funny. The next major bike was the penny farthing. I really want to find one of these bikes. The penny farthing was the first bike to ever have spokes in the wheels, like metal spokes, and the spokes will go from the hub to the rim to keep the rim true.
Other way.
And it was named the penny farthing because the bigger wheel and the smaller wheel were like compared to the coins they had, which were the penny and the farthing, and like the bigger coin and the smaller coin. So that's why they called it that. It was created in 1869 by a French inventor named Eugene Meyer, and he was the first one to use rubber tires and metal spokes. The first modern bicycle that actually looked like most of the bicycles we see today was created by John Kemp Starley. He invented what is considered the modern bicycle. He decided instead of attaching the pedals straight to the front wheel like on the penny farthing, he would attach a sprocket and a chain going back to a sprocket on the back wheel. And that's what came to be as the modern day chain drive for a bicycle. And that was the first bicycle he made, and it's still like in a museum somewhere. It was named the safety bicycle and was sold throughout the entire world. After that, everything just became way more advanced out of nowhere. People started doing like multi-speed bikes where you'd have a derailleur and your multiple gears, 3 in the front and usually like 6 or 7 in the back, which could create up to like 21 or 24 speed bikes. And this is the type of bikes that like Lance Armstrong would use in the Tour de France or something like that. I mean, those bikes are really advanced nowadays, and this started in the 1900s, and that wasn't the only modification. Frame design and the materials components that they used, 4130 chromoly metal steel for the bike frame was like light but like heavy duty. Different type of bikes that are out there today. We have a road bike, which is the bike that Lance Armstrong uses. Usually real small, skinny tires, big wheels. They have, different gearings, 21, 24. It's really what you prefer. And they're usually made out of carbon fiber, surprisingly, which you'll see in the video. And then you have the mountain bike, which most people, most families have for their kids. It's like a mountain bike. You can get like an extreme mountain bike that, they have shocks and different types of, suspension. disc braking compared to pad brakes on the rims. But what you normally see is, a mountain bike from Walmart, like a Next bike or something. It's got, 3 gears in the front and 7 gears in the back, just a solid frame, and fat knobby tires. And then you have the BMX and the freestyle bike, which is the type of bike that I ride. They're usually a lot smaller than both of those two bikes. They're around like 20 to 21 inch, and built really, really strong for like the amount of force they take. 15-foot falls, landing flat. You have to have a really strong welds and stuff. And this video is the new carbon fiber frames that they're making, and they're called Guru, and I think they're amazing. They're pretty crazy. And these Guru bikes are personally made for your body. Like they measure you, figure out your dimensions, and make a bike to fit yourself.
Weight and limb length, as well as shoulder width for handlebar spacing, inseam for the seat placement, and even shoe size for positioning the pedals relative to the front wheel. Computer software translates these data into a geometric diagram of a customized bike frame. A cutting machine slices out carbon fiber shapes that will become the frame components. The bicycle frame is made up of 9 parts. They make each one with an aluminum mold and a latex balloon called a bladder. They wrap the bladder with a layer of carbon fiber. The fibers in the material all run in one direction. So to add strength, they apply several layers in a specific crisscross pattern. After coating the mold cavity with a release agent to prevent sticking, they place the wrapped bladder inside, then install an inflation cap. They place the mold in a specialized heat press, hook up pressurized gas, then insert a temperature and pressure monitor. The inflated bladder forces the carbon fiber to take the shape of the mold cavity. After about 20 minutes, they extract the molded part, then begin the refining process.
And that's usually what they do for every piece of the bike, and then piece it together. And carbon fiber's flexible until you put the molding on it, and then they piece all the bikes together, and you have your own frame for yourself, weld it. Now that I've informed you about the invention of the bicycle, the evolution of the different types of bikes, I hope you have a better understanding and get